moving on, we're going to get to the underside of this guy, and we've got a little hydraulic down here. And fortunately for us, this little guy is basically, in fact, it is the exact same as this piece right in here. So we're just going to be copying this, and we've got to create a couple little pieces to make the connection, but it's definitely going to save us a little bit of time. And we'll grab up this part. Then we'll just delete a couple of those pieces that we may not need. So I'm just going to do Control D and move this on down. So we can see that we are roughly the same size. The only thing different is the pipe coming out is going to be a little bit longer. So it's just to make its way up to that connecting point. The only other part that we're looking at here is going to be a little tapered off rectangle that's making the connection there. So let's go ahead and create the geometry that we need to create. Get rid of this little piece because we don't need it. We only need one little piece going through, not both of them. Well, actually we'll leave both of them just for the fun of it. We can leave both and then adjust this one a little. Go into our vertex mode. We're just going to move this guy over and make two little connections, two little rings for it to connect into. There we go. Object mode, Control D, slide that guy over. There we go. That makes a nice little piece. And then this one's going to have to scale down just a little bit, and let's go ahead and move this one. Whoops, let's grab the one we want. And this one's going to be moving out because it's going to connect into that side right there, and it's going to connect into the other side. We'll make our final adjustment in just a minute when we get to it, but that gets us close for now. Okay, so that gives us this whole chunk is looking good. The only one we need now is that little guy right there in the back. So let's go ahead and make a cube to get that started. And I'm just going to drag one out like that and about like that. And this is going to connect into here. We want this a little bit thinner. We're somewhere in there. Let's go ahead and go into our vertex mode. And we're just going to taper that end right about there. That looks pretty good. We'll move that up a little. And I'm going to go ahead and bevel. Oh, actually, we're in our modeling toolkit. We're just going to bevel that off a little. Just enough that it's got an edge going around it. That looks good. We've got to rotate it around, line it up with our shape going up. There we go. And as we put it in here, we can see we could go a little bit wider with it. About right in there. And about right in there. Take a peek at our perspective view. Looks good. We'll go back to our object mode. Let's move this over. And this is going to be connecting into this guy right here. So that's where it's getting plugged into. So with those pieces in place, let's go ahead and I think we're going to bring this one up to it. So I'm just going to make this one a group just so that we can move all these parts and pieces together. So Control G on the keyboard, and then we can go into our tool settings and do our reset just to get the pivot point more in the middle. Let's go to our side view. We'll rotate this guy around. Get it lined up. Looks like we're just about there, right in there. It looks pretty good. We're a little bit different. The piece there is actually on the bottom, so let's rotate this guy around this way first. And let's double check our rotation. We're 180. And let's rotate him around. Much better. That's what we want right there. And we're plugging it in nicely right over here. And we're going to be pulling this piece back up and around. And on the ungroup, we're just going to ungroup those pieces. We don't need them all grouped together for the whole time. Let's modify this up a little bit. We're going to pull these sides in. These, I believe, are going to be tucked under the plate armor that covers it. So we get that piece in, and then this one right in here. Go back to my object mode. This piece in here, we make a nice connection. We're still a little bit off on that, so let's go ahead and see if we can pull this guy over a little bit more. There we go. That looks better. And we'll pull this one over. Okay, so we've got a nice connection on those. The next piece that we want to do is going to be this one. So let's go in here to our view, and this one's going to be going all the way up, almost up into here. It looks like we're actually up and in there. That looks pretty good there. Let's see if we've got, if you check on some of the other reference images, you can see some of a more of an orthographic view. But yeah, we're definitely going all the way up and in it. And the next thing we need to do is pull this section down. So I'm just going to grab some of the vertices, and I'm going to change my axis orientation to a object. And then I can pull that guy straight down. There we go. Alright, so without too much effort, a couple of new pieces. We've got that bottom piece set up and ready. And while we're at it, the next thing that we're going to do, we'll go ahead and clone over the parts and pieces that we need a duplicate of, and then move into a couple of these little detail pieces that go down here, just some little boxes to give that some more detail. And then we'll finish it off with our circle and our little connector that connects it into the spider, and then the plate armor, and then we'll be wrapping this one up. Alright, we're getting close.